One of the more underrated games in college football this week is going to be San Jose State against Washington State. These are two teams that are kind of surprising this year, going through some different things, some different experiences. And these are two teams that are playing with a ton of confidence. They come into the game with different perspectives on their season, but they both are 3-0. San Jose State managed to average 30 points a game, and they're doing it under Ken Niumatalolo's leadership, and he has done it through the air, which is really weird to see. But we'll dive into more of that here in a little bit. Washington State has been a very interesting team. This is a team that has surprised a lot of people. They beat Washington to win the Apple Cup last week, which I think surprised some who haven't paid attention. And they have a quarterback that has been a lot of fun to watch. Washington State right now is a 13.5 point favorite as I'm recording this, but that doesn't mean that San Jose State can't make this game more interesting. Now, these two teams have met 13 times already. Washington State currently leads that series. That was kind of surprising. I didn't expect, even though they're both on the West Coast, I didn't expect these two teams to have played so many times. That being said, the questions that you have to ask right now: does San Jose State's defense have the weapons to slow down this Washington State offense? This is a Washington State team that came into the season with some underrated playmakers, and so far they have stepped up and delivered. We'll talk about them more in a little bit, but this is a group that's really explosive, and that makes life very difficult for San Jose State. San Jose State's losing quite a bit of talent on the defensive side of the ball, and that is going to challenge them quite a bit. The secondary took some big hits, and the defensive line is going to have to find ways to slow down what Washington State wants to do. So you're looking at a team that has the talent on offense, I think for sure, but the defense is going to be the biggest question. For Washington State, can you stop Nick Nash? If you don't know who Nick Nash is at this point, you need to expand your horizons in college football. And this is a great game to do that. Nick Nash is one of the best wide receivers in college football. And he is someone that does not get enough attention. He is a player who has tremendous talent, transitioning from the quarterback position to wide receiver. Ever since he played wide receiver, he has hit the ground running and has been a dynamic playmaker for San Jose State. And now they have a year so far in which he has been absolutely dominant. Now you'd like to see some more depth at the position, but make no mistake about it, Washington State has their hands full with Nash, and they're going to have to find ways to slow him down. Now, when you look at the impact players for Washington State, John Mateer has been the absolute surprise for college football this year. I think a lot of people expected Washington State to have some struggles right off the bat, but John Mateer's ability to make plays with both his arms and his legs has been phenomenal. He has made a huge difference for this team, and he is the biggest reason why this team is 3-0. Now, he does have plenty of talent to throw to downfield. Kyle Williams is someone who was one of the remaining returnees for this passing attack, and you knew that he had the talent. The former UNLV transfer showed his explosiveness at times, and now so far he has been doing that on a weekly basis. Adding Chris Hudson from the transfer portal via Oregon was a huge addition for them as well. He has been a solid player for this team, and he is another player that's going to give San Jose State some trouble. On the defensive side of the ball, though, this is where I think makes the biggest difference for Washington State. Up front, Andrew Edson has been solid for them so far. The defensive line getting to the quarterback is probably the biggest key for them, because if they are able to rush the quarterback and find ways to slow down San Jose State's passing attack, or at least limit the amount of time they have to throw, that is going to help this defense tremendously. Because again, Nick Nash is phenomenal. I cannot talk about him enough because he is so good at what he does. And giving him more time to get open only means bad things for Washington State. And guys like Ethan O'Connor are in for a long night as is. Nick Nash is that good. He has that long frame and has the ability to make some pretty acrobatic and incredible catches. He is going to make life very difficult for guys like Ethan O'Connor. So that's where the defensive line comes in. If they're able to step up and slow him down, that makes this a game a little bit easier for the Washington State defense. I don't think that they have too many concerns about their own offense. Mateer has done a really good job of moving the ball against multiple teams. And San Jose State's defense isn't the best that they have faced or will face this year. but they still have to be smart. They have to take care of the football. And so far, Mateer has done a good job of that. Creating explosive plays will also be a key. Kyle Williams and Chris Hudson will help in that regard. But John Mateer is definitely one of the more exciting players that most people probably haven't watched. And this is a game full of talent that most people have not watched. Mateer is one of them, and San Jose State's impact players have plenty of those people as well. Nick Nash is one of them. When you look at 485 yards and 6 touchdowns, if you go back and watch his film, this guy is making some really great catches and he is dominating his competition, but no one's really talking about him. Probably because on the West Coast, even he's fighting for attention with guys like Tedorovic McMillan. And San Jose State kind of has some similar, or I should say, some similarities between them and Arizona. Right now, Nick Nash is clearly the best wide receiver on this team, and they're still looking for some depth behind him. Now, Justin Lockhart is coming back this year, and he has been a really good player, averaging over 17 yards per catch. He is someone that has so far been an explosive player for San Jose State, but nobody is close to what Nash is producing. That group needs to evolve because Washington State and other teams really are going to try to find ways to take him out of this game. And it's not going to be easy for him to get open. So other guys have to step up. Whoever that's going to be needs to be a big time player for this team. And that's also going to help Emmett Brown. Emmett Brown surprised a lot of people by taking over the starting position. And he and Nick Nash have found ways to gel pretty quickly, find some chemistry, and you've seen the results. This is a team that, again, with Ken Niumatalolo running the show, you kind of expected them to focus on the run, but he has not done that. And it's really fun to see because he was known for the triple option at Navy, and you found that he is switching things up with his new head coaching position. And that's really exciting to watch. That's great for San Jose State, and that's the group that needs to be good. You obviously want to see the rushing attack create some balance against Washington State. That's how you're going to potentially pull off an upset. But this is a team that's really exciting to watch for a lot of different reasons. The defense is, like I said, going to have a ton of pressure to stop this offense of Washington State. Jordan Pollard has his hands full with John Mateer, but you know that he has the experience and the ability to do that. It's just a matter of can he get everybody else up to speed. Again, you lose a ton of talent on that defensive side of the ball, and when you lost Brent Benning, you kind of expected that group to take a step back, but they have guys like Jordan Pollard back. You have Robert Rahimi, someone who is going to have his hands full with those wide receivers that we talked about for Washington State. This is a game that's very interesting. It's going to be one that's probably not watched as much as other games, but it's a very exciting one. Washington State has been a surprise, and so far, San Jose State is a surprise of the Mountain West. It's going to be fun to see how these two teams stack up. Does Washington State continue its success, its current trend, or is San Jose State going to pull off the upset? Either way, it's an exciting result. And even if either team loses, or when either team loses, I should say, both teams have a ton of confidence heading into conference play.